A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Beginning Monday, it'll be 2 hours of the RP show on Game Plus television across all 10 provinces and 31 states. 2 hours beginning at noon Eastern, so you won't have missed any of the show.
How about that?
We've got Super Bowl coverage all next week. Can you announce the title sponsor of it?
Yeah, Original 16. Woohoo! Our title sponsor for
Super Bowl coverage
all week long, so that'll be great. Looking forward to it.
I'm taking Tampa Bay by 7 points. Brady's Bucks are going to do it at home.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Good day, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. New time for our Saskatchewan and Arizona viewers. Same time for the rest of the world. I'm Rod, and he is Darren Moose Dupont. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
And actually, it changed for everybody. Everybody's clocks moved today. So now everybody gets it a little bit later, an hour later.
There you go. There you go. Welcome, everybody. I'm a little wired here, like I'm caught up in a freaking fishnet. But I'm good. And it is Super Week here on the RP Show, presented by Original 16 Ultra. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl, of course, with NFL guests each and every day. But we got a lot of things to get to today. That first NFL guest is Garrick Jones, Houston Texans alumni chapter president. Former CFLer with the Eskimos, Stampeders, and Blue Bombers. Garrick Jones going to be checking in from Houston. Patrick Dees. Who was he buddies with, Clark, that you said it was this very small world? With who? With Cal Filson, our friend and head scout of the Seattle Thunderbirds. He's buddies with this Patrick Dees. He's the commissioner of the fan-controlled football league, the one that Johnny Manziel's playing in now, and has a bevy of former CFLers coaching in it, including Drew Tate and Don Unamba and Coach Khalil Carter, all those guys. The commish. That's 2 commissions are going to be with us today because Garrick Jones is the commissioner of the Southern Developmental Football League in Texas. And John Hodge will be with us from 3 down as well to talk about just unbelievable times in the Canadian Football League. But let's hit the quick 6 show topics, please, Jordan. Please, and thank you. Number 1. quarterback chaos in the CFL. There's a lot of interesting things going on in the 3-down league, but the most of it was in the last 24 hours. And the latest is just moments ago. This had been bubbling over the past couple of weeks that Toronto couldn't get a restructured deal done with Matt Nichols, their quarterback, and Ottawa couldn't get a restructured deal done with their quarterback, Nick Arbuckle. I mean, dang those players. Who do they think they are holding teams to the terms of a contract?
I know.
What's wrong with those players?
The nerve.
Arbuckle only moved his whole family to Ottawa, had a kid there, and then this happened. So anyways, they get released ahead of today when they were due big bonuses and then signed by the opposite teams. It doesn't make... Why didn't they just trade him? I know there's an answer to that, but it looks
save money.
It looks to save money.
And do you think they could have got to be like, look, you could save $100,000, I can save $100,000 if we just do this. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Right? We're all going to save a little money, and
yeah, but
it just doesn't look good, though.
Well, uprooting families, all the rest. This was my commentary today on Cat Country. The CFL apologists are saying, well, it's to save money, right? It's this whole league's going to go down the tubes if we don't get our costs in line. Well, if this way of doing business, like Ricky Collins Jr., good friend of ours for the past several years, gets cut by Edmonton in the last 24 hours because he was due a bonus today. Well, I know Ricky's gal. I know his son. He's out of a job today. So, sorry. Too bad. So sad. Just business. If this way of doing business gets flushed down the toilet, I'll pull the lever for you because it's gross. Some of the stuff that needs to change with the CFL. Anyways, to point two, the trade over the weekend. Earth-shattering trade. Mm-hmm. And I don't know today that we have even any definitive answer as to who won between the Detroit Lions and the LA Rams. And for those that don't know, if I'm looking at this properly, down here, Jared Goff from the LA Rams and 2 first-round picks and a third go to Detroit. And the only thing going back to LA is Matthew Stafford. That's it. I didn't realize how old Stafford was. I didn't realize how long he's been with that garbage franchise.
32.
Yeah, going to be 33 when they play this year. But anyways, here's my take on why I still think the Rams won the trade. Because Stafford is somewhat proven. I think we could all agree that he is a well above average quarterback. And if he'd been on any other team, even an average team, he would have led them to greatness. So he's ready. And the Rams have given up on Jared Goff. Yeah, he took him to the Super Bowl, but he soiled himself in that Super Bowl. They didn't make the playoffs this year with him, and he was hurt in the clinching game. So, yeah, the picks went. They've given up on Jared Goff. The picks versus a proven player, I think most personnel people would tell you every time you go with the proven player, correct?
Correct.
And so the Detroit fans, and God bless their pea-picking hearts, they're saying, no, we won because we got the first-round picks. That's the main thing because we're starting a rebuild now. How long's that rebuild been going? Like, if anybody can screw this up, it's the Detroit Lions. The first-round picks don't mean anything if you blow them. That's why I think the Rams won. Do you have a quick thought on that?
I think the Rams won the trade, too. Matt Stafford is a very good quarterback. And clearly, Jared Goff was on the outs with Sean McVay, right? Once the relationship's damaged, it's hard to repair. And, I mean, John Walford started that playoff game when Goff was hurt, but Goff said that he was ready to start, that he would have started. So he still went with the other guy. And then at the end, when McVay was asked if Goff was his quarterback, he said, yeah, he's our quarterback for now. And that means you knew the relationship was damaged. And the other narrative I've been hearing over the weekend, too, is, and it's true, it's just the Rams don't value those draft picks that much right now. They don't value the draft picks. They're in a win-now mode. The next 3 to 5 years, they've got good offensive line. They've got good weapons. Their defense is one of the top 3 in the NFL. And now they've got a quarterback that McVay likes. I think it's put money on the Rams when Come On puts their futures bets out for next year's Super Bowl. Put it on the Rams. We could have done a poll question today, who won the trade. We did it on Instagram, and I think 53% of people are saying that the Rams won. There's no clear-cut winner, let's put it this way. But the poll question that we came up with has been burning in me for the last couple of days. And I'm just calling it up here. For Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, should a CFL team, looking at you, Argos, give a tryout to 56-year-old alum Darren Burns? Do you want to take any wild stab at what they're saying?
There they are. Well, this is wild. On Twitter, 71% say no. On Facebook, what is it?
66% say yes.
So, older demographic on Facebook's one thing that we've learned.
That's one thing we've learned.
If that means anything.
And when maybe our Twitter followers are a little more diverse and we have a bigger CFL following on the show today on Facebook, and maybe they're voting that way. But you know what? Give them a shot. Why not? I mean, the headlines are worth it alone for the one roster spot.
Well, there's players by name, Eddie Steele and Rob Maver, who disagreed with it. We had a back and forth on Twitter over the weekend. It looks like they have since deleted their tweets, although I don't think that they've changed their mind. But they're saying these spots are coveted. We're not a gimmick league. Why are we doing this? Well, I think you need the headlines. I know I'd be tuning into camp to see how Darren Burns did. And then Darren Burns Facebooked me on the weekend, messaged me, and he said, I don't know what to say to those two guys. I said, you say, screw them. Don't worry about it. If you're worried about the coveted spots, maybe you add one more spot for this guy. You already got global players that don't belong there in the first place. What's one more guy?
Right.
Do you have the comment from Sean? He's watching from the control room of Game Plus in downtown Toronto. I looked it up on the weekend. It's like 3 to 4 blocks from Scotiabank Arena, the Game Plus. Here it is. Sean, director of production at Game Plus, says contracts aren't honored anymore. NFL and NBA players sit until they get traded. The CFL cutting players before bonuses. It's sad. Hey, it's all sad. Wait until people wake up and smell the coffee and realize COVID has completely gutted sports. Wait till that happens. You want to talk sad?
I know.
That's coming. Point 3 here in the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons, your home for the NFL. The Oilers spanked the Ottawa Senators 8-5. And my brother, the Cowboy, was texting me last night saying, you got to put on this game. Good for Stuart Skinner. The Oilers look great. I was finishing up watching Bling Empire on Netflix. I said, I'll tune it in when I'm done. Great show, by the way.
You got to get on that one.
You got to get on it. And the Oilers were up 5-1. I'm like, this is over. It's over by the time I turn it on. So that's good. The Oilers went to the Cobra Kai school on Sunday. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Although the Sens did come back and make it a game. But it was a slump buster for the Edmonton Oilers. It's too early to say at any point that the Oilers have lost the season because they still have a chance to salvage the season. And what do you say? What does a slump buster do? You're a sports guy. What does it do?
Busts the slump, gets you out of a slump.
It gets your confidence up.
Gets you going.
That's all that it takes. And that might be with Neon Leon getting his 6 assists. Not like he's been struggling. But that just lifts a dressing room and a locker room. So the Oilers have a chance to save the season. They weren't close to losing the season, I don't think. And they might look at January 31st as the day that the season changed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ottawa. Point 4, just a quick one. The Rangers put Tony DeAngelo on waivers. So he got in a fight with one of his teammates after the game on the tunnel to the dressing room. Add that to the list of problems they've had with Tony DeAngelo. Bye-bye. And we were supposed to know at the time that we went to air today whether he cleared waivers or not. Did you see anything, Clark? Did you get a notification? He's going to have a look. He's going to have a look and see if Tony DeAngelo cleared waivers. Would you take him on your team?
Oh, boy.
What?
I know. I mean, you go through all of the things that have plagued Tony DeAngelo. There was all the political commentary, right, that leaves people sour. And in this era, the cancel culture, but we're afraid we don't want anybody polarizing. Does anybody want to take a chance on that guy? But, Clark, you're going to have to look at the numbers. Was he not 4th among defensemen in scoring last year?
He's a good player. Yeah, we're all. Sean McCormick from Game Plus, Todd Pinkney said they're all saying he cleared. Nobody wanted him at his current price tag, so somebody will pick him up. Sorry to cut you off.
No, but he's a guy who put points up. He was the top 5 in defenseman scoring last year in terms of points. 53 points. There you go. Good job, Clark. I don't know, how much is that worth, right? Is it worth all the headache of everything else? Probably not. Somebody,
trust me, somebody will sign him by the end of the day, but they didn't want to pay, it's like $4 million, close to $4 million that he was making.
Yeah.
Point 5, the Edmonton football team. Breaking news this morning has hired Jamie Elizondo as their new head coach. It was 1 week ago today that this show tweeted that Elizondo was the leader in the clubhouse, and he got the job. This is to no surprise to anybody. I've known Jamie a long time. He's coached in almost every league. He's a good guy. Forget the fact that he kicked me out of Red Blacks walkthrough twice. I deserved it. He's never been a head coach before. Doesn't matter. He's ready. He's familiar with the quarterback. He's familiar with the general manager. This is a seamless fit. I guess he's named himself as the offensive coordinator as well as head coach. So welcome back to the Canadian Football League, Jimmy Elizondo. Our CFL report brought to you by blank. Are we ready to go with that yet? Yes? No?
You know where we are. Not quite.
Okay.
Almost.
You're working on the contract. But anyways,
contract.
It's all come out in the Quick Six show topics here, the CFL. And point 6, got to say this for virtual sports. It's a thing. And over the weekend, Team Global Ag Risk Solutions won the SJHL Virtual Showcase. It was the all-star weekend for the Provincial Junior A League. There's me. I think I kind of look like John Dutton there from Yellowstone.
It's pretty good.
That's me calling the action virtual, a video game, and then we got this guy.
Hey.
We got this guy who looks like Jason Sudeikis. The two of us called the games along with some of the other SJ announcers. We had a blast. I can tell you that calling a video game isn't a lot different than calling a real game, especially nowadays when announcers are calling off monitors. And I don't know if you saw the Pro Bowl had a virtual, the NFL had a virtual Pro Bowl yesterday. And who were the announcers? Marshawn Lynch, Keyshawn Johnson, Snoop Dogg. So whether you know it or not, and here on Game Plus, it is a gaming channel. It's a thing.
Oh yeah,
It's fun. So thank you, SJHL.
and you can let your hair down and have some fun, which we did. We had a little fun, had some laughs, and it was fun. I think when we stepped in for that first game on Friday, I think some of the young SJ broadcasters kind of took notice a little bit because they're still very professional.
Yeah, they're trying to call a game.
They're so good at their jobs, and they love it, and they're very professional. And you and I come in, and it's just like a 3-ring circus, and they start we bring the crew into it.
It's about fun.
No, it's about fun.
Entertainment.
It's about entertainment.
People are slowly getting onto it.
Yeah.
So just a couple comments before we go. Lauren Smith, watching in Kamloops, says Elizondo is a great offensive fit for Edmonton. I agree. He's regarded as a wizard. Some of the Rough Rider defensive players over the years, I won't name them, but they said this guy, he's a wizard. And how did Ottawa do without him last year? Not very darn good. From Zach Nelson in Calgary, says, what did you guys think of the Stockton Heat playing in Calgary this year? I'm all for whatever it takes to get onto the ice. The Flames American Hockey League team is going to play out of the Saddle Dome, and I love it. It's going to be a busy place with the Hitmen, the Heat, and the Flames. Jeff Kibilis in Winnipeg. Put the cowboy hat on. Bam! John Dutton. You over there? You're Rourke, right? It's Yellowstone talk. You wouldn't know.
No, but
you got to start watching.
I do.
We're taking him to the train station. It's an inside term for we're going to have you killed.
We need our own inside term for that.
We're taking him to the train station. John Kirby, we'll be right back because we're going to take him to the train station.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is, and just ahead of the commish, Garrick Jones. Some of the comments from our viewers today from Brent Kuhlman. He says, that was a huge hit by Dylan Dubé Saturday night. Flames Canadiens. Said, I haven't heard anything if the league is even looking at it. If you can believe the NHL disciplinary department says they are not going to even... No, they are not going to look at it. Come around the net and wango right in the face. Apparently, you can do that now.
I guess so.
And I don't care for either team. Wayne in Victoria, BC says it's sad for the players in the CFL. The league will pay a coach $500,000 to not coach, but will cut a player if he makes too much. Oh boy, they said we had Garrick ready and then we lost the audio. And the gentleman that wrote in about the NWHL, he's upset that we're talking about the SJHL virtual showcase, but not a peep about the NWHL. Dude, I'm not into it. The Quick Six show topics are about what I'm interested in. I saw there was 30,000 people watching the National Women's Hockey League. 30,000 people watching it on Twitch. I logged in for it. But don't get mad at me. I don't complain at my TV every morning when I watch ESPN's Get Up that they never talk about the National Hockey League. Never. You can get your information on the NWHL from their websites. Can't really get it from the other networks. But don't come at me because I'm more interested in the CFL and the NFL or a league that involved us in their SJHL virtual showcase. That's it. Why are you so into it? That's what I'd like to know. My niece is going to play NCAA women's hockey beginning next year in Pittsburgh. If she makes that league, I'll probably be into it. For now, I'm not. And like I say, I don't complain at the TV channels that don't cover the leagues that I'm interested in. Why are you? Had to get that off my chest.
We're also not funded by, taxpayers' dollars or, you know what I mean? We're not funded by any organization that mandates what we talk about. Right? We're funded by ourselves, and we're funded by advertisers who need us to stay relevant and talk about things that people want to hear about. Not that they don't want to talk about that, but they seem to like what we choose to talk about.
What's happening with Garrick Jones? Okay, so we've had a connection issue. So here, I will say this, the Toronto Six have clinched the first seed in their group at the National Women's Hockey League Isabel Cup playoffs. The Six obtained top seed following a 6-0 victory over the Connecticut Whale in round-robin play at the Herb Brooks Arena. How do you like that?
I like that.
The Toronto Six forward Mackenzie McNeil scored a pair of goals in the victory. Now, I've heard about her before. The Toronto Six will play the 4th-seeded team in Thursday's semifinals, either the Buffalo Beauts or the Boston Pride. So there's your coverage. John in Edmonton says, I don't care what Rod talks about. Whatever he talks about is always entertaining. Well, thank you.
There's a slogan in there somewhere for the show. There is.
I know. I'm getting this sports update out of the way while we bring in the commish. We got him now. So we're going to go to the commish, Garrick Jones. And he is the actual commish of the Southern Developmental Football League. There he is, looking like $1 million. Good morning, GJ. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. So we got a lot to unpack with you, my friend. You know we're going to get to Deshaun Watson. But what is your take? Who wins the Rams-Lions deal? Stafford, Jared Goff?
I think the Rams will pull that out in regards to winning that deal. I think Stafford can come in and give them some different energy. The whole golf situation, I think it's a little bit deeper than everybody understands because being a former player, man, it's a lot that goes on in that locker room and a lot that has been exposed as to some of the things that have gone on with that trade. So I think just a steady dose of some different energy and some veteran leadership, I think that they come out on top, man.
You know, the last, and I agree, by the way, but the last time you were on, you said there's going to be a lot of hurt in the CFL, and we're seeing it now financially. You're following the guys getting cut a day before a bonus, and the teams don't care that you got a wife and kids. They literally don't care. And here's what's new in pro football. You tell me if I'm wrong. Jared Goff takes a team to the Super Bowl, but because he didn't perform in that Super Bowl, he gone. Jimmy Garoppolo, same thing. The 49ers ready to move on from Jimmy. Doesn't matter that they won the NFC. Like, the window now, there is no patience, Garrick.
Nah, none whatsoever, man. Everybody has a microwave mentality. And unfortunately, with everything that's going on, we need it right now. We have to win right now. And that's kind of the scenario. So that window, like you say, is very small for guys that are successful. And it's unfortunate because even though, the players were always looked at as commodities and there's another crop coming next year, it's even worse now. So, that's the hardest thing to just look at, man. It's with the fans, they look at the players as commodities, and the actual teams themselves do the same thing to the players. So it's what do you do as a player? You are the engine that makes it go, but unfortunately, people look at you like you're expendable. And hey, let's go to the next group and the next draft and the next draft, and they just want it right now, man. So unfortunately, microwave mentality will get you microwave popcorn in my book, man. So. Hey, it's one of those deals, man. It's crazy right now.
Moose DuPont's writing it down. He's going to tweet it. Microwave mentality. You've got it written down.
Microwave mentality makes microwave popcorn. I love it.
That's a Garrick Jones original, correct?
That needs...
Yes, sir. Oh, absolutely. I have some more before we're done, man. I told you I got you, man.
I know you do.
That's got to be on a T-shirt.
All right, a microwave mentality. Put it down.
I've already done it.
But we're giving him credit. It's Garrick's. We're not going to steal it. But look, so... right in your backyard is the Deshaun Watson situation. And here's where I want to talk to you about this. Also in your backyard was the James Harden situation. He gets traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and now they're championship contenders. Deshaun's not going to go to a contender, man. He's going to go to the Jaguars. He's going to go to the Jets. I would think a crappy team. Is there any chance if he's thinking the grass is greener on the other side, but he's just going to go to one toilet organization to another?
No, I think, man, you got to understand the Texans situation. There's been a disconnect and there's been a lot of unnecessary untransparency in that organization. And when you have players of that caliber that are coming from a championship stop, they want to be treated a certain way. They want to be able to lead the team. They want to be looked at as leaders. And when your hands are tied, unfortunately, for Cal and those guys, they said there was going to be one thing, and it turned out not to be that thing at all. And it's the same way with the GM structure and how they had that set up. That was they already knew who they wanted, and they had already made that decision 2 years ago. But they brought a lot of people out of the woodwork and said, we're going to work here, we're going to do this, we're going to hire this company, and they ended up wasting a lot of people's times. So anytime you have that, once you lose that type of credibility with your players, it's best to move on. It doesn't matter who you are, how much you're getting paid, all those different things, because unfortunately the Texans have wasted a lot of talent. And that's something you don't want to do with a guy like Deshaun. And he understands it because he's a businessman. So I think for him to go to a new situation where he's, looked at and held in high regard in regards to transparency and honesty is the best thing for him, man, because it's rough over here in Houston right now, man. It's terrible. This climate here is rough.
So, but they got rid of Bill O'Brien, who we all thought was the problem.
He's one guy. They have a lot of the wrong guy in the building, unfortunately. And for Cal, just personally knowing him, he's a good guy, but he has the wrong people in his ear right now. And somehow or another, he's going to have to see that. It's either going to be, the fans not showing up to these games and saying, hey, look, we're fed up. Because, Andre Johnson, he stood up and he finally spoke, and Dre doesn't do a lot of talking. And in my situation with my GM push saying, look, we have to rectify this thing because we see it going down the wrong way. And all the other players, if that's not getting your attention, as well as the media attention in these magazine articles, something has to be done. But they're running the organization like it's a slumber party right now, and that's not good business at all, man. It's rough right now. So, hey, we got to figure something out, man, or it will be another Houston Oilers type of situation going on around here, man.
Hey, Commish, I got a couple questions on CFL personalities. One, last time we asked you about Danny Barrett, you knew what was going on with DB. He's a CFL icon almost, really, and I love Danny Barrett. He is the running backs coach with the Texans. Is he going to survive the coaching change, do you think?
Ooh, it's hard to say because normally when you bring a head coach in, he has, the guys that he wants to bring in. But I think that whole dynamic there is going to be upper management, and they're going to make the calls because they, realistically have been pulling the strings the entire time on who they want to bring in, the type of caliber of coaches, and so on and so forth. And I think one of those situations there is you can't make many waves in the organization with the Texans right now and be able to stay around. So I think with Danny, he's a good guy, and I think he's I won't say a company man, but I think he's done enough to stick around. But there again, who knows what's going on with the Texans, man? I mean, every day is something new. So you really can't you can't gamble on that one. You know what I'm saying? So it's,
you can
it's
say
wild.
you can say company man, or I would say smart. DB's not
smart. Exactly.
Now another one,
especially with this situation.
Exactly. And then another one is a close friend of yours and mine, a mutual friend, the great Henry Burris, who has been announced that he's coming back with the Chicago Bears. Actually got an elevation, I believe, within the coaching staff there under Matt Nagy. Your thoughts on Hank and how high you think he could go with an NFL team?
Oh, I think Hank could very well be a head coach. You got to understand the majority of the coaches that are in the league and the majority of the upper management that are in the league, as far as owners and so on and so forth, these are baby boomers. And you're dealing with Gen Z players. So along the lines, there is a disconnect. So you have to bring people in that can associate themselves with these players and really make that connection. And Hank's one of those guys, man. I mean, the first time I was in practice with him, I mean, we had a chemistry right off the bat. I knew I had to protect his back. And he understood where I was coming from with, being traded there and all those different things. So, it just made that transition seamless. And he's one of those guys that can pull that off. But I can see him going very far, very quickly, just from his background, his body of work, and his resume. It speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those deals where the NFL, if they're smart, if these teams are smart, they'll bring guys in that can connect with these athletes and really get a hold of them. So that way they understand the dynamic and bridge that gap, between them and upper management and even the fans. And that way you're able to go win those Super Bowls and make even more money and really slide that bottom line on that sliding scale a little bit more toward those teams to make more money because they're not in it to lose it. They're in it to make money. And you're seeing that, with the CFL. You're seeing that with all these guys getting cut. That's how it always been. But it's everything is multiplied and it's magnified, so you guys can kind of see what's going on and how the business has always been.
Well, I know that you played with Hank in Calgary. I go back to Hank to 2000 here. And that's 21 years, my man. Like, we're getting old.
Right.
But the thing with Hank, when he retired, he was just trying to settle into what he wanted to do. He was doing morning television, as you know, then the TSN panel. But the game was always pulling him back. And it seems like he's found the right spot for Hank. So I'm just so happy for him. Our viewers want to know, Commish, your take on the Super Bowl 55 matchup, Buccaneers and Chiefs.
Man, I'll give the edge to the Bucs, to the Buccaneers, man. You got TB12, man. He's, whether you hate him or you love him, he's that guy, man. And I mean, he's really solidified that team in their thought processes and what they do. He's really galvanized that. And that's what you want out of a quarterback. Even though you got Kansas City with Mahomes and what they're doing and being able to run all over the place, I think if they're able to withstand some of those blows that KC will have for them, and it's a heavyweight match, I think they have the edge just because they're at home, man. And this is the first time, and it's just going to be the viewership and everything that'll be there, man. It's going to be a atmosphere unlike any other, especially for this Super Bowl, man. So I'm anxious to see how it plays out.
I got you. I got Bucs by 7, by the way. Do you want to go out on a limb and give me a point spread?
Ooh, I would say if they're going to win it, it's going to be by a field goal. By 3.
Wow. Okay. There you go. You heard it here.
Tight.
The commish, Garrick Jones, by 3. I got 37-30. I had a dream. I actually literally had a dream on the weekend that the Rough Riders beat the Alouettes 41-3 in the Grey Cup. Write it down. All right, Garrick. I appreciate the time, my man. Always good. Stay safe down there.
I will, brother. Appreciate you, man. Y'all stay safe too, man.
All right. The great Garrick Jones joining us from Houston, Texas. And I'll never forget when we did far too long ago now, but we did our show from the DoubleTree next to the Houston Galleria.
Yep.
And I told the security guy, I said, there's going to be a large man come in that will block out the sun. Just keep your eye open for that. And the guy was like, how will I know? You'll know. Big dude.
You knew.
And he was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Jack in Alberta writes, no respect. CFL is showing players now more than ever before a total lack of respect. Frankly, it's embarrassing. Yes, pay coaches well to field a winning team, but show the players who are the ones who will fill the stands the same love. It's the right thing to do. Thank you for chiming in, Jack. Blake, one of the viewers, wrote in and said, I wish we could go back where the focus was just on the game and not the business. That may happen if this current incarnation of the CFL burns to the ground. That may happen, but that's what it's going to take. We're going to take a break. Back with a sports update, and we'll get into the NHL happenings from the weekend. It is the RP show you're watching on Game Plus TV, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com. IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Indeed, and Moose DuPont. I'll tell you what, have you noticed? I know you're watching on Game Plus TV, but if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live, we got an absolute mosh pit breaking out in the comment section.
Oh, yeah.
And Randolph Zora just wrote in, he said, is February 1st open the asylum day? It would seem that way, wouldn't it, Randolph? By the way, it's Super Week. Coverage of the Super Bowl here on the RP show includes Garrick Jones, the president of the Houston Texans alumni chapter. It's brought to you by Original 16 Ultra, introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager, superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. A sports update, because we are a hockey country, don't forget, Darren.
We are.
There will be 5 NHL games tonight. They include the Montreal Canadiens playing the Vancouver Canucks at Centre Bell. The Calgary Flames will also square off against the Winnipeg Jets at Bell MTS Center. Sunday night, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl combined for 11 points in an 8-5 Oilers win over the Ottawa Senators. Neon Leon had 6 assists in the win, one off the record set by Billy Taylor Sr. and the great one. The Sens are in the midst of an 8-game winless streak. They are who we thought they were. Did they go from Vancouver home to Ottawa, do a little laundry, kiss the wife, and then just go right back to Edmonton?
I don't know.
It's interesting how the media is not really covering, or maybe they don't know what's going on with his teams. These teams,
the
you know
travel,
what I mean?
And that's a huge part of the storyline. Now they're going in for 3 or 4 days at a time, but that's a huge part of it is how they're traveling. Are they going back across the country and then zipping back over for the next game? I don't know.
The Toronto Raptors snapped a 3-game losing streak Sunday with a win over the Orlando Magic. All-star forward Pascal Siakam led the way with a 30-point performance, while 3 other Raptors contributed 12 points. Bianca Andreescu will make her return as the top seed in this week's Grampians Trophy event. The 20-year-old will get a first-round bye and will play the winner of a match between American Sloane Stephens and fellow Canadian Layla Annie Fernandez in the second round. And for the Wild CFL news, Matt Nichols is joining the Ottawa Redblacks after the Toronto Argonauts cut him yesterday. As a result, the Redblacks cut quarterback Nick Arbuckle this morning. He signed with Toronto.
Sorry, what?
Dizzy yet? The sports update for Ballers Rec Room. They can handle all your food and fun needs. Visit their website at ballersrecroom.com. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. I just want to get in some of the comments here. Todd Pinkney says, and the top 3 in the NHL are? Dupes, let us know. Hang on.
Okay.
Jeff in Calgary, the Stampeders fan, says, the Flames play the Jets again? They do tonight in the Peg. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, go, Canucks, go. Take that, Brady. LOL. Oh, that's the fight between, you guys keep that to yourselves. And Colin in Ottawa says, I think the Sens are staying at a hotel in Edmonton, probably the one the Western Conference teams used in the bubble. I'm just saying, did they go home? Does people care about this besides me? I don't think they care. They were out in Vancouver for like a week and lost every game to the Canucks, and now they're in Edmonton. My question is, did they go home in between? Is anybody covering this? Or am I just a nerd that I'm the only one that cares? Tame Welker writes in, big-time Rough Riders fan. Says, do the Rough Riders sign or let Charleston Hughes go? Sounds like Chucky's gone. Charleston Hughes will be sitting in that chair tomorrow. That's an interesting situation, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. I mean, a guy who's been at an elite level over the last number of years and just doesn't slow down. And the name value, comes with a certain cachet that sells tickets and fan engagement, and a community guy. There's so much value to a guy like Charleston Hughes, but it's short-sighted when you look at just the football team, right? And I look at it, and I would relate it to what we're talking about with the Women's Hockey League, the NWHL. It's very similar, very similar. Yes, you could probably let Charleston walk, bring in somebody cheaper, have okay production, and use that money and have a better overall football team on the field, maybe. I can understand the thinking that there's more than one way to get things done. But it's not just about bringing in guys to win. It's also about building brand and selling tickets and all of those things. Great hockey in the NWHL, but we don't really care about it yet because we don't know anything about them. So you bring in a bunch of no-names and you just go younger all the time, it's going to hurt the brand. Charleston Hughes is a massive part of the brand of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the CFL, and whoever puts him on the roster, no matter what the price tag is, it comes at great value.
I had a guy say to me yesterday that Charleston Hughes is the second most popular member of the Saskatchewan Roughriders behind Cody Fajardo. Riders can't let this guy get away, but it sounds like they are, over $15,000. But we'll get the whole story from Charleston Hughes. Riders held a media availability on Friday, explained, from what I can tell, their side of these contract negotiations, and then Charleston later on in the day tweeted, anybody wants to know the truth, just let me know. Sounds like his side is a lot different than the Riders' side. He'll be in here tomorrow to talk about it. Lots of questions coming in. Mark Zosel says, Producer Clark, what do you think of Toronto's reverse retro jerseys? Well, you can answer him, Clark. Oh, he just told me in my ear he's not a fan. Darren, you are a Leafs fan.
I actually liked them. I thought they were kind of cool. The gray is interesting. It's hard to read the numbers and stuff. But I didn't like them when they came out. I hated them. I didn't mind them on the ice. I thought they looked pretty good. And those Oilers ones looked really good, too. I was the one guy who actually didn't mind them. Everybody else hated them. I didn't mind them. The Leafs ones.
Well, here's the thing. They used former Leafs captain Rick Vaive as the model when they announced I guess I used him as the model. He's the first guy I thought of when I saw those jerseys. They didn't look like the same jerseys that Rick Vaive wore.
No.
And Alan Bester and all those terrible Leafs. in the early 80s. They didn't look like those jerseys. If they had been those same jerseys, I think they would have looked better.
Yeah.
Don Cherry didn't like it, if you follow him on Twitter.
I saw.
By the way, the poll question, just before we move along here and take a break and come back with viewer takeover, which seems to have started early. Should a CFL team, looking at you, Argos, give a tryout to 56-year-old alum Darren Burns? The poll question is for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. On Facebook, Darren, can you look up for a second?
68% say yes.
68% on Facebook saying yes, give it to him.
Yep.
71% on Twitter saying no. Why the disparity? I don't understand that.
I know.
That's wild. How much time do we break, guys? 1 minute, they're telling me. So I voted yes. Darren Burns is a personal friend of mine. He's a businessman from Moncton, New Brunswick. I met him at Touchdown Atlantic. We spent basically 3 days together, and we'd never met before. We just got along thick as thieves. And so I'm pulling for the guy. And I didn't even know his personal story of being raised in orphanages in Toronto and suffering sexual abuse and physical abuse. But is the CFL obligated to give him a tryout because of his personal story? Maybe not. But because I'm a fan of his, personally and professionally, and I think the CFL could use the pub, I'm voting yes. I'm not sure I got a vote out of you.
I'm voting yes. You didn't get a vote out of me, Tom.
No, I didn't.
I'm voting yes. Yeah, give him a shot. Let him play. Why not? If it can bring fans in the stands, awesome. I don't necessarily go along with the idea that, a guy who doesn't really have a shot at playing in the regular season and having a roster spot and contributing, that he should take up a roster spot of a young, hardworking player who's earned it. I don't necessarily go along with that. But if you can find a way to bring him into camp, why not? Add a roster spot for him. Find a way to bring him into camp. You said that to add a roster spot. Do it. Bring him into camp.
Let's have an exempt roster spot for everybody trying to extend their career or have a comeback.
Yeah, anybody 55 and over. One
last comment here from Mike Booth watching in Fort McMurray, Alberta. He says, any chance the guy wins the Terrence Nunn Award? Ho, ho, ho. You remember that award?
I do.
That is for the training camp MVP, the guy that appeared as the best player in training camp, and then when he gets into a regular season game, trips over his own feet and gets cut. The Terrence Nunn Award, which I named from what I found out the writers weren't that fond of that award. I thought it was good to give it to the MVP at training camp.
Yeah.
And they didn't agree.
I know. I remember, but we always do that. We hear a guy's numbers, we see his stats, we can compare him to somebody. We do the 6 degrees of separation, be like, oh, he put up numbers like Randy Moss, and he did this and this, and then he shows up in camp and plays well, and you think he's going to be the breakout star, and you get in the real game, and the live bullets start flying, and the guy just can't do it.
One more. Tame Welker writes in and says, hey, do you guys think the Riders will bring back Thaddeus Coleman? No, they're not bringing him back. We will be back, though, with viewer takeover right after this. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network. Listen live at Suds for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. the refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at DDG.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Got my new gear on here. Thank you, Team Sherwood Hockey. Very comfortable. They knew that I like quarter zips.
It does. It looks really good.
The Facebook comment section's been on fire. But I'm going to go to the Prairie Mobile text line here. You can always reach us there at 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Where to start? DG in Saskatoon says, morning, boys. Some random comments here. Number one, Nick Arbuckle will always be remembered as bringing the only virtual Grey Cup in CFL history to Ottawa. I thought about that. He wins you a virtual Grey Cup, and then you kick him to the curb. Number two.
It was a walk-off.
The LA Rams now have the best quarterback in their division, and yes, I didn't stutter. Whoa. That's the same division as Chris Strevler. And number three, consider me glad to have seen Costa win watching from the Oilers bench last night. DG in Saskatoon. Woo! Frisky. Stuart Skinner got the win for the Oilers last night in his NHL debut. Skinner! You know what I enjoyed was watching the Swift Current Broncos and Lethbridge Hurricanes Twitter feeds light up because he's alum of both teams.
Yeah.
That was a good story.
It's a good feel-good story.
Very fast from Brady. Hey, Rod, the NHL Department of Player Safety is a joke. Letting several dirty hits go scot-free this season. They only care about paralyzing hits like that Wild game. Rams won the trade. Argos and Red Blacks swap quarterbacks. Really hope the CFL plays this season. That from Brady in Saskatoon.
Me too, Brady.
It is a good poll question. Who would you rather have, Nick Fatty Arbuckle or Matt Nichols? We'll talk about that next hour. We'll talk about that next. Hour 2 coming up here on Game Plus or your favorite digital platform. Patrick Dees of the Fan Control Football League coming up, and John Hodge, 3 down.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now. Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Hey, welcome to Hour 2 of the RP Show, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Very big day for us. 2 hours on national television on Game Plus. If you don't get it through your cable provider, flood them. Ring those phones. Email them. Stomp down to the network and pump on the glass. Yeah. Tell them you want Game Plus. And then you'll get the Rod Pedersen Show. So we're just rolling right into the program. Last hour, Garrick Jones with us, the president of the Houston Texans alumni chapter, Houston chapter, NFL alumni Houston. He talked about Deshaun Watson. He awarded the Rams as the winners of the big trade on the weekend. But you know what? Before I go any further, I'll say this hour, it's kind of a football Monday, hey?
Yeah.
This hour, Patrick Dees. You're not going to want to miss this. He's the commissioner and really the founder of the Fan-Controlled Football League. This is the league that Johnny Manziel will be playing in 2021. The fans will call the plays. You've always wanted to. Now you're going to actually get to. Drew Tate's in that league. If you know these CFL names, Khalil Carter, Don Unamba, the commissioner, Patrick Dees, is going to be with us. And then John Hodge out of Winnipeg from 3downnation.com to make sense of just an insane weekend in the Canadian Football League. And now, please, Jordan, let's go with the Quick Six Show topics. Really, the Quick Six are kind of the daily CFL report that we were committed to doing like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We started doing it. Number one, quarterback chaos in the Canadian Football League. Because today's February 1st, there were several players in the CFL do pretty sizable bonuses today. So unless you wanted to restructure your deal because you weren't going to get the bonus, you were going to get cut. And that's exactly what happened with Matt Nichols with the Toronto Argonauts and Nick Arbuckle of the Ottawa Red Blacks. And then hours later, after those players got released, they signed with the opposite teams. It really makes no sense. I was trying to make sense of it, shot some text messages around, and what I was told was, if Paul LaPolice really wanted Matt Nichols so bad in Ottawa, why didn't he just go get him? But it had to work out this way. They had to release guys. Paul LaPolice, the head coach of Ottawa, really coveted Matt Nichols. And I love Lapo. I consider him like family. I'm not sure he does the same. But I thought he was really geeked up about getting Nick Arbuckle in there. And it's all about money. And it's not just quarterbacks. Ricky Collins Jr. is a good friend of mine from the Edmonton football team. He was released coming off an 1,100-yard season. So it's not good business. It doesn't look good. It's dirty business. The CFL, this isn't new for them. But now more than ever, they need to save cash. And the people are saying, oh, Rod, but that's why we're doing it. Nothing personal. It's never personal, eh?
Never.
When they're shafting you, it's just business. But when you shaft them, it's... You ever notice that?
Oh, yeah.
So anyways...
It is not a two-way street.
No. So if this way of doing business gets flushed down the tubes, I will pull the lever on the toilet for the CFL. From viewer Mike Lee, he says, if I follow the fan-controlled football league and my team loses, who do I call to fire the fans? It's the same as actual pro football now. Just put your suggestion in the suggestion box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Point two.
Nobody's noticed where the key is, but...
Nobody. It's full. The trade. I'm talking about the National Football League late Saturday. This was a ground shaker. I was sent some texts around to some pro scouts. I said, what's your make of this? I'll use the geographics again. You got L.A. Rams down here. You got the Detroit Lions up here. L.A. takes Jared Goff, 2 first-round picks and a third, ships them to Detroit. And the Detroit Lions, the garbage team of the NFL, ships Matthew Stafford, the quarterback they've had for 10 years, to L.A. Stafford's better than what he's shown in Detroit. It's been a career killer. Sort of like, I'm sorry to say, the Oilers for certain people. And now it's a new lease on life for both. The question is, who wins? You got Stafford, who's ready. Rams are Super Bowl ready now. Detroit gets the 2 first-round picks, a third, and Jared Goff, who's still young at 26. Who wins? Everybody's saying the Rams. I know I'm saying the Rams. You're saying the Rams.
That's right.
And although it is, the one thing that one scout said to me was, this is so rare. Nobody saw it coming. When's the last time this happened? You're talking about 2 number 1 overall picks, reasonably, you could say, in their prime being traded.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Wild. Very wild. And the first-round picks, they're not as valuable to L.A. as you think that they might be. And, the Detroit Lions have had plenty of first-round draft picks over the last couple of dozen years, and they haven't been able to turn that into, any sort of franchise success. So draft picks, they do have value for sure. But when you're a team that's like the Rams and you're ready to win now, the draft picks don't have the value. They don't. And your ability to recruit free agents, to be able to draft well in the depth rounds, rounds 4 to 7 and 8, that's where you really make your money. And they're ready to win. And they felt that Jared Goff wasn't the guy to get them over the hump. Matt Stafford can be. He's a veteran. He's a great passer. He's a good quarterback. One of the top. He's the upper half of quarterbacks in the NFL. And in Sean McVay's system, he has a chance to be great. We'll see.
Sean McCormick watching from the Game Plus control room in downtown Toronto, where we are live for 2 hours on Game Plus today and till the end of time. Sean says, I'm thinking the Lions won the trade. Rams will have a great season, but will fall short of the Super Bowl, and thus the Lions win the trade. I could be wrong. We'll see February 2022. Well, the Rams are saying they're going to have 5 years out of Matthew Stafford. 5 years to win that Super Bowl, and they didn't think they were ever going to win one with Jared Goff. But it's fun to talk about. Why am I getting sucked into the viewer comments early on here? John Kirby in Edmonton says, question, Rod, when will your Golden Knights actually play again? Oh, you mean Canada's team? The Vegas Golden Knights? They're supposed to play tonight. It's delayed. They're supposed to play Wednesday. It's delayed. I would think come Friday, whenever their next game is past Wednesday, that's when I think you'll see them play. I got to move on. Point 3. Oilers beat the Senators 8-5 last night at Rogers Place in Edmonton. I tuned in. It was near the end of the first period. It was 5-1 already, and the game was over. So kudos to the Oilers. The Senators provided the role of slump busters here for the Oilers, and this could be a season-defining win for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm serious, and what I mean by that is I didn't think they were close to blowing their season, losing their season, because it's only week 2, as I've broken it down into 7-game segments. The Oilers have a chance to save their season big time, and that might have happened with Leon Draisaitl and his 6 assists and just, again, using Ottawa as the slump buster. We talked about it an hour ago. Moose, what do slump busters do?
Build the confidence.
Bingo. We'll see, right?
They're a confident group now. I mean, they looked pretty confident last night, and you know when they get that mentality. You said the Cobra Kai mentality last hour, right?
No mercy.
No mercy, and they need to have that kind of killer instinct because they can score almost at will, and it's a matter of can they do it on a nightly basis.
Point 4. The New York Rangers placed defenseman Tony DeAngelo on waivers after a reported incident with a teammate in the tunnel to the dressing room after Saturday night's game. As of noon Eastern today, which is past, he's cleared waivers. He can sign with anybody, like his contract's up. So he was making around $4 million this year and next. That's done. So that was the straw that broke the camel's back with Tony DeAngelo. I'm doing a little Twitter surfing here today. People can't believe that nobody wants Tony DeAngelo on their team. That's not entirely true. Nobody wants them on their team at $4 million a season-ish. He's cooked his own goose by his own actions. So we'll see where he lands. He will land with somebody. To point 5, breaking news this morning. This is why I say the CFL reports really are quick 6 show topics here. The Edmonton football team has hired Jamie Elizondo as their next head coach, replacing Scott Milanovich, who 1 week ago today resigned to go to the Indianapolis Colts. We got to get Jamie Elizondo on this show. He and I have had a colorful history. Twice he kicked me out of the Ottawa Red Blacks walkthroughs day before the game. Twice I deserved it. I think Jamie is a good guy because he felt bad kicking me out. It was like, Rod. And then I tweeted immediately, I've just been kicked out of Red Blacks practice.
Yeah.
Cue the firestorm.
It was national news.
It was national news. But I'm not holding on to any grudge. I hope Coach Elizondo's not. He has also installed himself as the offensive coordinator of the Edmonton football team, too.
Yeah.
So.
And that history with Trevor Harris. It's a nice match. I'm excited for
it. So where do some of these other coaches whose names were in the hat go? Where does Chris Jones go? Where does Mark Trestman end up? Noel Thorpe is the defensive coordinator in Edmonton, so he's staying there. Trouble is there are still far too many coaches, far more coaches than there are jobs. That's the sucky thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I look all around the league, and there's no openings, and there's nobody I would consider on the hot seat. I mean, they haven't played any games. You have a bad start to the first half of the year, and all of a sudden there could be 3 or 4 coaches on the hot seat, and there probably will be. But I think every organization is pretty stable right now. So for the Trestmans, the Joneses, I mean, Noel Thorpe's going to coach on the defensive side, but for looking at head coaching opportunities, you got to be patient.
This is the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons, your home for the National Football League. Armando Moreno is watching the show in Mexico City. He is a global football reporter, Mexican football reporter. He says, is he the first ever Mexican-born head coach in the CFL? I don't know. You tell me. Jamie Elizondo does not have a Wikipedia page, so I don't know where he was born. If he was born in Mexico, then yes. He's the first ever Mexican-born head coach in the CFL. That's your job, Armando. Wouldn't you say?
Put out that tweet. You probably get 500 likes on it.
Exactly.
You know, if you got it, if it's correct.
La Liga Americano Futbola fans would be salivating over this news.
Drop it.
Yeah. Jamie Elizondo, good guy. Last seen as the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Vipers of the XFL. Now, head coach of the Edmonton football team. Point 6. Team Global Ag Risk wins the SJHL Virtual Showcase. That is the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League All-Star Game. This year they had to take it inside, put it on. It was a video game is what it was. If you want to roll those photos, Clark, they brought Dupes and I. There we are calling it from Saturday afternoon with my SJ gear on. Darren DuPont as well. We got a shot of Dupes calling it with some other guys. Rory McGowan and Benny Walchuk, my friend Noogsy. So anyways, Team Global Ag Risk won the whole thing. Hopefully it's the only year that we have to do this. We're expecting news soon on whether the SJHL will get onto the ice or any of these leagues across Canada. So thank you. That point 6 there triggered a guy in Toronto by the name of Chris Bird saying, you're talking about a virtual showcase but not the NWHL? The National Women's Hockey League bubble event, which is going on in the United States right now. And I'm got to say, yes, I am talking about that because they involve me and I care about it more. So he very nicely wrote in, Chris Bird, and said, I didn't mean any disrespect, but the NWHL event deserves at least a mention. So there's the mention. But the point is, I'm just not that interested in the NWHL. Sue me. I'll repeat what I said an hour ago. I watch ESPN Get Up every morning. I don't get upset. They never talk about the National Hockey League. If they show a snippet of a highlight of a nice Sidney Crosby or Ovi goal, it's like, wow, they mentioned the NHL. They never do, and I don't get upset. You can get your coverage. There were 30,000 people watching the game on Twitch. I logged in to see how many were watching, so it's there. But if we're not covering your league, don't at me, because that's not going to make us want to cover your league. Ricky agrees, our mascot. From Norway, can we get the comment up from Trent? He's been writing in from Norway. Norway calling part 2. He says, I got to see parts of the Oilers Sens replay here today. If last night's win is the slump buster, the next game has to be a convincing win as well to make sure this win means something. As for Elizondo being in Edmonton for the CFL, if Harris and him connect on anything, it could be interesting. Time will tell. Checking in from Norway, where it is 7:14 p.m. Do we have the commission lined up? Is Patrick Dees logged in? Not yet. Okay. We have the commissioner of the Fan-Controlled Football League coming in, Patrick Dees, next. We're all very excited. If you've got questions for him, I suggest you send them to us now. Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. You're looking at me, Moose, like you have something on your mind.
No, I'm excited to get Patrick on the show, though. I'm curious. The Fan-Controlled Football League, it's an interesting concept, right, to call plays. I don't know. Clearly, it wouldn't be your thing. Right? Like if we let the fans decide what you talk about?
I'm interested. Yeah, it's not quite the same.
No?
I don't see that as apples and apples.
Because those football coaches spend all that time crunching film just to let somebody else call the plays? They might have different strategy, different things they want to... I don't know. It's wildly entertaining in terms of the curiosity factor that goes into it.
I've had friends coach, I think it's called the You Call It football league. I've had friends that have coached in that, and for them, football is football. It didn't last, so I hope that the Fan-Controlled Football League does. Having Johnny Manziel in your league, I think, is a great start. As it stands right now, from what we're told, Johnny Manziel's not doing any interviews, which is great. I think. Just go play, Johnny.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. Just before we break, the Kinsman Telemiracle 50/50 is live now. You can purchase yours at telemiracle5050.ca. You see the running total over my shoulder. What's it at? 82,000 and change?
62.
62?
Yeah.
Man, I got to put my glasses on.
62,000 and change. It's going up by
12,000 bump over the weekend.
By the hour. Oh, yeah. And as we get closer, it'll go really high. They're expecting the jackpot to be up over $3 million.
The Kinsman Foundation is helping people every day improve their quality of life and independence through gifts of mobility and medical travel assistance. They've come to us to help them promote this 50-50. COVID, of course, causing huge problems for the biggest fundraiser for Kinsman in this province every year. It's Telemiracle 45. And they'll be announcing the winner of this 50-50 draw on February 27th. The draw date is Friday, February 26th. You've got a month to buy your tickets. Buy them now at telemiracle5050.ca. And we got him. Patrick Dees, commissioner, founder of the Fan-Controlled Football League, joins us next. This is going to be awesome. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV. Also, YouTube live daily and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals, video production, event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website, IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Monday coffee get-together coming to you from the bunker out here in Western Canada. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. I was I aired when I called Patrick Dees the commissioner of the Fan-Controlled Football League. His Twitter says the co-founder and chief gaming officer of the Fan-Controlled Football League. And I got a lot to talk to this guy about. Calls himself a nerd too, by the way, but his photos look very cool. How you doing, Patrick?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
You betcha. We're going down to California to have this chat. Now, it's a funny little connection why we're chatting, and we'll get to that down the line, how we all got a mutual friend here. But we're very aware of the Fan Control Football League because we got some good friends in the league. By name, Drew Tate, Don Unamba, Coach Khalil Carter. So we're very aware of what you're doing, Patrick, but I bet you our viewers might not be, and football fans across the continent. So tell us about the Fan-Controlled Football League, please.
Yeah, absolutely. It is Madden in real life. We are literally, I'm sure you guys have felt this way. Literally anybody who's ever watched professional sports has been watching the TV and lost their mind at a call that was played or a play that was called or something that happened. So literally everybody's had this idea. We're just the only ones crazy enough to actually implement it. So it is just what you think, fan controlled football. It is Madden in real life. It's the first time ever where fans have an opportunity to actually determine what happens on and off the field. So fans in this league have chosen already. They've chosen the logos of the teams, the uniforms design, the color schemes. They're voting on rules currently. And then as we come into the season, there'll be a real-time draft, a draft each week, and then they'll call plays in real time over the course of the season. So fans very literally determine what happens on the field.
Okay, so it sounds awesome. So where are the games going to be played?
Well, thank you. I think so too. We're incredibly excited about it. The games take place in Atlanta, so we shoot really different model than than pretty traditional sports. You think about the other leagues that are not the NFL. You think of the AAF or the XFL. They play these huge stadiums, and their model is to put butts in seats and sell those butts beers and hot dogs. We are very literally, it's a different model. We have like an infinitely scalable digital audience. The league is purpose built to exist on Twitch. And so we have, all four teams play in one arena that allows us to really invest and have it be kind of bleeding edge technology. But yeah, we play in Atlanta starting the 13th.
all February 13th is starting already?
Yeah, right around the corner. It is coming up.
Okay, so, now we're getting somewhere. So on the weekend, I was broadcasting gaming on Twitch, so I'm very familiar with it. We were talking earlier on the program about the National Women's Hockey League that was broadcasting on Twitch on the weekend to crowds of 30 to 40,000. So Twitch is the way to go. So let me ask, so do the fans need to download an app in order to call plays, or how do they get involved? Like, what's the best play for football fans watching right now to get involved?
Yeah, so you'll be able to download the FCF app shortly in the App Store. Or, so where this lives is in a visual overlay that sits on top of the Twitch broadcast. So you can call plays literally from a second screen device. We think that along in our timeline, there won't be second screens, right? Like every screen will be interactable. And so we built this technology that lives on top of the broadcast. That, again, will look and feel like Madden. It'll show up, it'll come out, it'll show you the plays that are available. It will show you your profile because, as a play caller, as a fan of the fan controlled football, everybody gets a vote, and not every vote is created equal. So as you go interacting with the league and the ecosystem and calling plays, and the better play calling that you do, the more, we call it fan IQ, you earn. And then the more fan IQ you earn, the more you level up, and then your weight starts to your vote carries a lot more weight. And it'll all exist kind of on this visual overlay on Twitch.
You really, if people didn't know about you before, the football world did when Johnny Manziel became associated with it. So can you talk about bringing Johnny Football on board, and is he in fact going to play in the league?
He is in fact going to play in the league. He's in the air right now on the way to a bubble. We're doing kind of an NBA style bubble in Atlanta right now where folks get tested and then quarantined and then never leave. So he's in the air right now. And Johnny was a really unique opportunity. He's friends with one of our owners. Bobby Menery is one of the owners of the Zappers, sorry. And look, we had a chance, we got introduced to Johnny, and like a couple of things really resonated with us. He's really authentic. You talk about this league where we're redefining the relationship between player and fans. And, Johnny doesn't want to be in a position where he has to be, censored or muted at all. And so obviously preternatural talent on the field, but obviously a huge personality off the field. And this whole league is comprised of guys like that. I know obviously not as high profile, Johnny, but when we look to, we've only 4 teams and thousands of people try out. So we really had to pick people who could play on the field. But we did a second pass, right? Every one of these guys can play football at an incredibly high level. But what we wanted was huge personalities, right? Like we've got these huge personality owners. We wanted that also to exist on the field, right? So every one of these guys, are the type of guy that when the camera turns on, they light up, they're excited, they were going to build content with fans during the course of the week. Becomes this really virtuous circle. We saw it with our proof of concept in Salt Lake. Guys that build relationships and communities with their fans off the field. They build this relationship, and then their numbers called more frequently during the course of the game. And so it's just made sense from a personality perspective that Johnny's this incredibly interesting dude and really wants an opportunity to reconnect with fans, but didn't want to do it in a paradigm where he's censored and muted. Johnny's going to be Johnny in this league.
Marshawn Lynch is involved as well. Yeah. What can you tell us about that?
Marshawn's amazing. Incredible guy. And Marshawn was really interesting. When we started thinking about people who we wanted to be owners, right? If we've got 4 teams or 8 teams originally in next season, we put on a huge whiteboard the murder row of guys that we wanted to be owners. We thought a lot about, you think about Mark Cuban, right, in the Dallas Mavs. I think a lot about how the Mavericks are this extension of his personality. And so we said, hey, who's, again, this an owner that could really infuse his team with swagger, because it's not there's no geographical bias. When you join the FCF, you take a look at all the types of teams, and we've done a really good job of chunking owners with personality types. You got the high-flying smack talkers of Quavo and Richard Sherman, and on the Beasts, we wanted to build a team around Marshawn, and he's surrounded by some great folks. B, Marshawn is a really bright guy. He's an entrepreneur at core and just really gets this, and he's the type of personality that again. When you're signing up for a team, you're like, dude, I know Marshawn. I want to be a part of what that guy's doing. So Marshawn's incredible, constantly finding ways to give back, and quality guy on and off the field. So we're really excited to have him.
So the league begins February 13th. We got questions coming in and comments from our viewers. Robin says the FCF jerseys look awesome. Chris in Toronto says, will the FCF generate revenue from subscriptions? So I guess, where can they go and see the jerseys? What's your website? Where can they sign up? What are we asking people to do today?
Yeah. So go to fcf.io. Go check it out. Literally join a team. You'll get an opportunity to meet all 4 of the owners, all 4 sets of owners, figure out which team kind of resonates with you, join a team, and then you can immediately start contributing to what happens in the league. Right now, we've got a bunch of rule votes that are happening, because this is a league that will continually change, right? Over the course of the season, we've had fans vote on things like what's a catch. They're going to continue to vote on playoff structure. So and during the course of the season, we're going to continue to adjust and have fans vote on, again, what that product is. When we created this league, we took a step back and we said, hey, how do you reinvent football for the digital age? And so we had a chance to really mix up with this. The games are an hour long. It's a running clock. Fans are calling plays, and we're going to continue to evolve the game. So you can immediately jump in there and vote. You can see the uniforms are there. Those are fan both voted and designed. So Robin, thank you. I'm really pleased with the way they came out. I thought they ended up looking great. But yeah, go to fcf.io. Go check it out.
All right, Patrick, my last question for you is our mutual friend, as I said, Cal Filson is the head scout of the Seattle Thunderbirds. Yeah. And he got talking with our producer. So how on earth would you know Cal Filson as you run or help run the FCF down in Atlanta? It's blowing my mind.
Yeah, big Cal guy, as a matter of fact. So all 3 of the 4 founders are all, guys that have been part of venture-backed companies and had exits. And I was building, a company in the mobile space. Cal was, a young mobile entrepreneur. And so we hit it off right away as we were both building respective businesses, and just one of the best guys out there. So really, really glad that he made this happen. Good to hear from Cal.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, you got fans here now, man. Plus, in the league, I got to say, those guys all reach out to me. Drew Tate, Don Unamba. That's honestly how I found out about it was from the players. Yeah, so keep her rolling. We'll be following. And Patrick, anything you need from us, you know where to find us.
I love it. Thanks, guys, so much for having me. Have a great one.
You too, buddy. All right, so Patrick Dees, I got to get this right. Co-founder and chief gaming officer of the fan-controlled football league.
Very cool.
Cautiously optimistic, nerd, DMs open to all. It doesn't seem like a nerd to me.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see people want to talk football today. They also want to talk hockey. Somebody wrote in here earlier and said, who will sign Micah Awe? Actually, it was Jeff, the Stamps fan, who said that. I mean, I sit here and say, where are we going to go with this bloodshed across the Canadian Football League? Going to be interesting tomorrow when Charleston Hughes joins us, too, because he said he's going to give his side of the story of what the Rough Riders are doing to him. So, you know what? Let's save the text line for later on, viewer takeover, because I believe we got John Hodge ready to go. We'll get his take from 3downnation.com on the latest in the Canadian Football League, because it's been a wild 24 hours, and it doesn't sound like it's ending anytime soon. John Hodge next from the Peg. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
And Moose, and producer Clark, and Ryan, and Jordan, and the whole crew. There's breaking news today in the Canadian Football League. First off, Jamie Elizondo has been hired as the latest head coach of the Edmonton football team. And 3 Down Nation just announcing, I believe they had it first, that Brian Burnham has signed a contract extension with the BC Lions. And speaking of 3 Down, let's go to Winnipeg now. One of the big names there is John Hodge from 3downnation.com joining us to talk some ball. Happy New Year, John. How are you, my man?
Living the dream, Rod. Living the dream.
Good for you. Staying safe in your car bubble, I can see, there in Winnipeg. John, the craziness that went down with the quarterbacks in the CFL, Arbuckle and Nichols, you guys had been on this story for the past several weeks. So am I right in saying it wasn't as big a shock to 3 Down and you guys as it was to the rest of the CFL world?
No, I don't think so. I think if you go back several weeks, in fact, I thought that the quarterback carousel in the CFL could actually have spun a lot faster and a lot harder. The reality was, once the dust started to settle with Jeremiah Masoli, a pending free agent in Hamilton, Zach Collaros restructuring his contract in Winnipeg, I think it was going to boil down to, okay, we've got 2 teams left. We've got Toronto, we've got Ottawa, and we've got, 2 landing spots for 3 quarterbacks, because the forgotten man in all of this is McLeod Bethel-Thompson, still technically under contract with Toronto, opted out. He would be free to sign with any team as of February 9th. So the reality is with Paul Appolise and his relationship with Matt Nichols, of course, from Winnipeg, and you've got Ryan Dinwiddie, head coach in Toronto now, with his background with Nick Arbuckle from their days together in Calgary. It was only a matter of time before this move was made, and the bonuses on February 1st just prompted the sparks to fly yesterday. So no, not a huge surprise.
No, but key thing there is you said the Masoli signing triggered it all, which I had not put together, but you're right. And 2, so I'm told Appolise wanted Matt Nichols. Dinwiddie's happy with Nick Arbuckle. So it almost makes me wonder, why did this not happen ahead of those bonuses being due? Because it seems like everybody's got their guy and everybody's happy today. Am I right on that?
I think so, but to me, the timeline is determined based on the bonuses and based on the leverage. For instance, if Jeremiah Masoli goes to market, he's probably the best quarterback available. The leverage lies with him, right? And as the market gets thinner quarterback-wise, the leverage transfers to the team. So if I'm Ottawa, I'm perfectly happy to wait until July 31st because, on the one hand, you might have Jeremiah Masoli going to free agency. The Bombers might cut Zach Collaros. You don't know. But the worst case scenario, if you can even really call it that, is, hey, we don't think Toronto's going to pay Matt Nichols, so that option will be available. And guess what? Matt Nichols isn't going to be in a position where he can go back to Winnipeg or go to Hamilton and be the guy. So the longer you wait, the less availability there is for starting spots across the league, and your leverage goes up. To me, that's why you wait the longest as a team. I think the players who were smartest were the ones who jumped on deals early when there were more potential landing spots coming, and that way they got themselves a better contract, in my opinion.
Good point. And by the way, I'm looking at my list of top free agents. I think we had all the same guys, John, just in different orders. And as of this morning, Brian Burnham is off the board, but Charleston Hughes remains on there. Enoch Mwamba remains on there. Greg Ellingson's off. Where do you think Chucky Hughes goes? What's your read on that situation, that the Riders trying to squeeze him over $15,000?
I would love to still see him back in Saskatchewan. I think that he's a great fit there. They've got AC Leonard on one side, who's great. I think that Charleston Hughes is, I know he believes he's the best pass rusher in the CFL. You could certainly make that case. He has led the CFL in sacks 5 different times. Somehow he seems to be able to do that and still fly under the radar a little bit, with guys like Willie Jefferson and Jagera Davis maybe getting a little bit more ink, a little more attention as time goes on. But that being said, if Charleston Hughes is not back, he'll obviously have a lot of suitors. One place that I think he could easily end up playing is in Toronto. They just traded for the rights to Cordero Law, who was very good for the Stampeders in 2019, in that trade that also included Eric Rogers. So the Argos need to get him under contract. But even if they get Cordero Law, I could see Charleston Hughes playing there as well. They're former teammates in Calgary, and they both have a history with some guys in the personnel department with the Toronto Argonauts. So I think he'll have lots of suitors, but if he's not in green and white, I think we could definitely see Charleston Hughes in double blue come 2021.
John, with your football acumen, I think you could handle this question from a viewer very easily. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, how on earth is Nichols considered a starter, a better option than Arbuckle? I'll put that to you. My thinking is more experience, won a playoff game, just a little more experience. But how would you answer that?
Look, I think Nick Arbuckle has the potential to be a very good quarterback. I think he did some fantastic things with the Stampeders in 2019. But let's face facts here. The man has started 7 games. 7 games. Like reading some of the responses, and don't get me wrong, I think Red Blacks fans have reason to be upset because their team went 3-15 2 years ago, and outside of Jalen Saunders, it's basically the same roster they've got right now, which had a lot of holes in 2019, and Matt Nichols versus Arbuckle doesn't fix those problems. Might a little bit, but the other roster issues that they had and shortcomings that they had, and there were a lot of them are still there. However, I think over the last year or so, a lot of people in our nation have built up Nick Arbuckle to be the savior of the franchise, to be a guy like Henry Burris who came in and lit that team on fire and led them to a Grey Cup title in just their 3rd year of existence. Nick Arbuckle is not a former MOP. He's not a former All-Star. He's just a young quarterback who's got some really good tools, who might be a good CFL starter. We don't know that yet. He was on a great Calgary team in 2019. He won 4 out of 7 starts, right? He's not proven. Matt Nichols, is he the sexiest option, the flashiest option, the guy who's going to go and throw for 500 yards a game? No. But he's a guy who's been a proven winner. He's 45-27 as a starter in his career between 2 different teams. And we obviously know he's got great background with Paul Appolice there. So if they can find a way to get their ground game going, I think they probably need an upgrade at running back. But if they can do that, upgrade the running back position, have Paul Appolice work his magic in that offense, I think that the Red Blacks will be just fine with Matt Nichols versus Nick Arbuckle. Again, no disrespect to Arbuckle. I just think he's not proven. He needs a chance to start to be able to do that. It looks like he's going to get that in Toronto. But let's not crown him as the next great thing until he proves that he is. And so far, it's a very small sample size, 7 games, only won 4 in Calgary. I just think we need to see more before we hammer on Ottawa too much for losing out on a guy that, again, at the end of the day, is not a proven starter in the CFL.
We have more comments coming in, but I want to get to you on another topic, Ottawa related. By the way, John Hodge with us from 3downnation.com. Big fans here of John's work. Jamie Elizondo goes to the XFL, and Ottawa goes thump offensively. They also lost Trevor Harris. But your take on how much was Elizondo's absence responsible for that? And then he's hired this morning in Edmonton. So what do you think about that hire?
Well, I think Ottawa in 2019 was it was kind of a perfect storm with the departure of Trevor Harris. And then, of course, the departure of Jamie Elizondo. You had them scrambling last minute to find a quarterback. I know they came out and said right away they were happy with Dom Davis. And in fairness to Davis, he was great the first couple weeks there. People forget that he threw, I think it was 4 touchdown passes in week 2. That was the first game Cody Fajardo started in 2019 and put up something like 50 points, beat the Riders. Obviously, that trend did not continue. He struggled a lot of the rest of the way. Jonathan Jennings struggled as well. But you're right. Half of that equation is the OC. And it was obvious in 2019, without Jamie Elizondo running that ship, that offense was just not competitive. They couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't score. They didn't run the ball very well. So I think that this is a great hire for Edmonton. Obviously, they would have loved to have Scott Milanovich back. And personally, I still think it's a shame that a coach can sign a 4-year contract, bounce whenever he wants, apparently, while, of course, CFL players, heaven forbid, they get an opportunity, have to beg and plead and get on their knees and hope and pray that they can get out 1 year early. That's probably something that needs to be addressed. But point is, they lost an offensive head coach, a guy like Scott Milanovich, who was going to be an OC as well as a head coach. He's going to serve as his own offensive coordinator, do a lot of that game planning. Well, if you bring in a Chris Jones or you promote Noel Thorpe or you bring in a defensive guy from elsewhere, now all of a sudden, especially with the way that the CFL's operations cap works, you've got a disaster, right? Because you've got, okay, we don't have to pay Scott Milanovich, he resigned, but we're already paying these guys. We hired a head coach, and now we have to shuffle things on deep. You can't do that. So I think Jamie Elizondo, who actually worked a year, let's not forget, worked for a year in Ottawa with when he was the OC. Noel Thorpe, the DC in Edmonton, is now was the DC in Ottawa at the time. So they have history together. Elizondo obviously has history with Trevor Harris. So it's, to me, the most seamless option. And the Edmonton wanted to hire Jamie Elizondo, potentially. They certainly wanted to interview. They did interview him, I believe, the last time around. Fact is, he's a great fit there. He's got history with Brock Sunderland. If you're going to lose a head coach in late January, like they did with Scott Milanovic, this is basically the best case scenario, I think, if you're Edmonton. Finding a guy like Jamie Elizondo who's available, he's got history with your GM, history with your quarterback, history with the DC. It's a perfect fit.
As was pointed out by Armando Moreno in Mexico City, and you're familiar with Armando, he said, first ever Mexican-born head coach of the CFL. And I'm like, we should be screaming this from the rooftops. I would think from a global initiative, right, and diversity, but I see no mention of that in the Edmonton news release. Thank you to Armando for pointing that out. And just lastly, John, what do you got cooking this week yourself at 3downnation.com that people are going to want to, I want to say tune in for, but you know what I mean.
Of course, yeah. We've got positional rankings that'll be happening all this week. Just yesterday, 2 days ago, Dunk broke the Rogers trade. Yesterday, we broke signings. We had Burnham this morning. We had Bola Combo going back to BC yesterday. Dunk broke the Matt Nichols release from Toronto. So we got all kinds of breaking news all week. We got free agents rankings. We got all kinds of goodies. And of course, insight and analysis from a bunch of our contributors. We're going to have a great piece tomorrow on the quarterback situation in Ottawa, some analysis from Santino Filoso. So I'd encourage your viewers to check us out and stay tuned to 3 Down, especially as we approach free agency opening on February 9th.
Well, I'm on there 4 or 5 times a day, so keep up the great work, John. I appreciate the time. Stay safe, and let's do it again soon.
Cheers, Rod, anytime.
John Hodge from 3downnation.com. 8 days before the start of CFL free agency opening. We'll be coming right back with a sports update because we haven't got to that yet, and viewer takeover. You're watching the RP Show. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues right after this on Game Plus TV Network, live daily on YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
An Original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day. The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
A sports update here. The CFL's Edmonton football team has hired Jamie Elizondo as its new head coach. He's also been the team's offensive coordinator and quarterback. He's also been named the team's offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. He replaces Scott Milanovich, who stepped down 1 week ago today. Nobody's saying it, but we will. Elizondo, the first Mexican-born head coach in the Canadian Football League, and dare I say all of pro football, unless Ron Rivera was. I don't know if Ron Rivera was born in Mexico. He's of Latino descent.
Good question.
But for sure, the Canadian Football League. The Montreal Canadiens host the Vancouver Canucks for the first of 2 games in 2 nights at the Bell Centre. Montreal is coming off its first regulation loss of the season after getting shut out 2-0 by Calgary on Saturday. Vancouver's won 4 in a row. The team that you picked to be number 1 in all of Canada. That's what Dupe said.
They're rolling.
I still can't believe no discipline will be handed out for Dylan Dubé for his shot to the face of Montreal's Kotkaniemi on Saturday night. That was... I sometimes I wonder what I'm watching. And here's a case where I don't care for either team. The Winnipeg Jets are home to the Flames tonight for the first of 3 games at Bell MTS Place. The Jets have lost 2 of their last 3 games, including a 4-1 defeat to Vancouver on Saturday. Another good measuring stick for the Jets tonight. And they took it on the chin to the Canucks on Saturday. They beat the Flames on opening night with Line A. They don't have him anymore. Armando Moreno, watching in Mexico City, says, no, Ron is of Mexican and Puerto Rican descent, but born in the States. Riverboat Ron. He's my second favorite NFL coach.
He's awesome.
John Gruden, number 1. Rivera, number 2. Mike McCarthy, number 32. The Toronto Six have clinched the first seed in their group at the National Women's Hockey League Isabel Cup playoffs. The Six obtained top seed following a 6-0 victory over the Connecticut Whale in round-robin play at the Herb Brooks Arena. The Toronto Six will play the 4th-seeded team in Thursday's semis, either the Buffalo Beauts or the Boston Pride. The surging Memphis Grizzlies take on the San Antonio Spurs in NBA action tonight. The Grizzlies have won 6 in a row. The Raptors are off tonight before a rematch with the Orlando Magic. There's a lot of monkey business going on in that Raptors Magic game the other night. Did you see? Kyle Lowry got knocked to the floor a couple of times. This sports update for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. And we were doing a thing way back pre-pandemic, prehistoric times. Remember the Sports on Tap for the tap?
Yeah.
Brew house and drive-through liquor store? Let's do it again. Here's what's on tap tonight in the National Hockey League. Vancouver at Montreal. Pittsburgh at the New York Rangers. Nashville at the Tampa Bay Lightning, Boston at Washington, and as we mentioned earlier, Calgary at Winnipeg. So that's what's on tap tonight for the Tap drive-through brewhouse and liquor store. The Vegas game has been postponed. And one of our viewers, John in Edmonton, was all hot and bothered about when the Golden Knights are going to play again. Don't worry about it, John. We go one day at a time here, right?
Absolutely.
I saw the tweet from a guy, I believe his name was Ray Nichols, on Twitter over the weekend saying he's lost all touch with the 24 other NHL teams outside Canada. He said his NHL is strictly the Scotia North Division. I'm with him.
I know.
I'm sort of like, I really got to work hard to see what's going on south of the 49th parallel.
Do you ever? You really do. And, when Todd Pinkney asked about the top three teams, he was pointing out the standings that Philadelphia's third in terms of points. That's his team. But I go back to power rankings. I'm like, those are standings. Power rankings are different. And we're so enthralled with what's going on in Canada. Yeah, we forget about the rest of North America and the league. But Florida, 5-0-1. All of a sudden, Carolina, while they look like they're in the bottom of the playoff teams, they're 5-1.
Right.
And Vegas 5-1-1. Those are teams that, to me, are among the best right now in the National Hockey League, although they just haven't played as many games.
Carolina had played so few games because they had so many suspended right out of the gate. But Wednesdays when we do our top 5, bottom 5. Somebody told me, by the way, that waste disposal company that we were talking to, can I say that?
Sure.
They said your bottom 5 should be brought to you by the waste disposal company. I'm just putting it out there.
That'd be pretty good.
That was a suggestion.
Take out the trash.
From one of our viewers. There you go. Jamie is watching in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. He says Dylan Dubé wasn't able to avoid the hit, and number 15 on the Habs was in a vulnerable position. I agree with the explanation, and Brian Burke put out to all people. When did Brian Burke become the head of player safety in the NHL? Sorry, I like Berkey. No, I got his cell number right here. I know him. Don't have to go along with what he says just because it's Brian Burke. You can't avoid doing this? I think you can. Sorry, that's just my take. I thought it was very dirty. Bob in Grand Prairie, Alberta says the Oilers will be just fine this year. They've got the management. They've got the guns. We'll wait and see. Yeah, but they had that last year. Just saying they had that last year. It's more to it than management and guns. Everything needs to come together, but maybe the win over the Ottawa Senators was just that. Maybe it was the slump buster they've been looking for. Tuesday here on the Old RP Show, Canada's daytime sports talk show, Canada's foremost NFL insider, Jim Lang will be with us as part of Super Week for Original 16 Ultra. And Charleston Hughes and Johan Lozinski from the Better With Age podcast. Can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern right here on Game Plus TV. Let's make some noise!